fluid and well choreographed action sequences get coupled with those melancholic backdrops and detailed environments create the mysterious air the movie series has most of the time. Jujutsu Kaisen is more than the sparks and flashes.
Listen, this better be lit. Demon Slayer is a classic. Demon Slayer is up there. This better surpass expectations. Lit. You know what I'm saying? It's always lit. I did one of these previously. Go check it out if you want. Got an anime playlist somewhere up here. We finna get straight into this. Make sure you like the video. You don't gotta subscribe. Don't subscribe. Thank you. I know you can hear it in my voice. I ate McDonald's one time and I feel terrible. Will never again. Say goodbye.
These days, we've gotten spoiled by amazing animation.
Oh my, we getting straight to it, okay? Oh yeah, and also, I've watched Demon Slayer, I've watched JoJo's, I've watched Attack on Titan, I'm all caught up. I watched Blue Exorcist, I'm on that, I'm catching up. You know what I'm saying? What else? My Hero Academia, I'm on it. I'm on it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. I want to watch this. This looks good.
These days, we've gotten spoiled by amazing animation from the decade-long history of modern anime to expect a show or two exhibiting Sakuga every season, but anime didn't exactly look this good before. It hasn't always been like this. Still, there are some shows from the past decade or two that have exceeded expectation and wowed us with spectacular editing, animation, or simply composition. For me,
let's get straight to it, bro. Ooh, this finna be lit. Let's get straight to it. No spoilers.
Not what you expected, huh? Beyond the Boundary is probably not in everyone's expectations when talking about visually stunning action anime, and it's easy to see why. It had a niche fan base before when it was airing, but now it's been almost a decade since airing, no one really remembers the show much. It's not the first name to come up with when you go through your catalogue of KyoAni shows, and it's a shame. One of KyoAni's first foray into full-on supernatural action is an experiment gone right, in my opinion. Fluid action sequences and a perfect atmosphere for this dark action series helped buoy this show that unfortunately had good but not spectacular reception. It's not Shinkai or anything, but for its time, Beyond the Boundary also had some of my favourite sceneries and visuals out of anything airing in that season. We can also thank KyoAni's visual directing for that one, and I think it's easily one of the studio's strongest points.
Hey, y'all know I love my charging and powering up. Any anime that charging and power up, you know what I'm saying, going berserk, let me know.
At number 9, we have K.
Is this the enemy I was?
For those who were around in the early 2010s, likely knew K for one thing: the filters. Before No Game No Life made it cool, K was known as the charismatic show that had the unique tint thing plastered on the screen all the time. Oh, I also meant that it's known for one thing: its stunning action sequences. Make no mistake, K is a show that carries with it a lot of cool rebel energy, if you get what I mean, and that strong point gets accentuated even more with its art and animation. Overall, K just looks simply beautiful. The visuals vividly capture the atmosphere of the bustling city filled with skyscrapers, and the fights are, as the video's title suggests, visually stunning. It gets especially great when the people start soaring and the camera angles capture the impact of each object's motions. K, as well as the succeeding season and the movie, is a series that takes you on a literal thrill ride, and while the screen filters can be a bit hit or miss, the animation is definitely a thing to laud.
For sure.
In 8th place, Sword Art Online.
Bro, I've heard about this. My homie told me about this. I haven't watched it though. He told me I should watch it though.
In a contrast to the first entries now, this is a show that needs no introduction. With the series still going relatively strong for its decade-long run, pretty much everything that can be said about SAO has been said somewhere on the internet. No matter what your opinions on the franchise as a whole are, however, one thing cannot be denied. In terms of production values, SAO is king. Sure, there's the meme Kirito shot and other hiccups, but taken as a whole, SAO is a show that undeniably looks good. A1 Pictures themselves don't have the most stellar reputations, but if you want a show for them to demonstrate their skill, you can just point to what's become their flagship title. By the time the series reached the War of Underworld arc, there was Sakuga almost every other episode, coming at us with some of the most extravagant lights and fireworks the franchise has ever seen. Though over 100 episodes, 2 movies and counting, and all the extra anime content, one thing has remained consistent with SAO, and that is its excellent art and animation quality.
Bro, them animations.
Next up, we have Gekkai Sensen in 7th place.
Oh yeah, this. You watch that? What is it called?
Nowadays, it's...
Okay. Got to. Eat those.
Nowadays, it seems that people know Gekkai Sensen more for its ending theme. You know, the first season's very popular ending sequence that has been parodied quite often. That fact gives me mixed feelings because while I love how the show's getting some love, moving past the ending sequence, I legitimately enjoyed this supernatural foray into Hell Salem's Lot with the ever-trusty Leonardo watch on our side. The episodic nature of most of the episodes may not be a lot for people, but for those who just wanted their dose of urban fantasy action, you'll be in for hell of a treat. Studio Bones really went all out for this decently niche title to produce what I believe is one of the best animated action series in 2015. The great art and animation help support the character writing which many have praised, and what you get is a title that unexpectedly exceeded all expectations that I had. It's also got another season which likewise delivered the same goodness, so the fun doesn't end in just 12 episodes.
Okay,
We proceed to Movie Land with Garden of Sinners at 6. One of the many lesser-known Nasu titles. Garden of Sinners is mostly known for its very intricate storytelling, the mysterious aura that it carries, and to a lesser extent, the breathtaking visuals. Perhaps it's because people expect great visuals from a theatrical production, but the Garden of Sinners movies go beyond those expectations and shatter them over the course of 7 movies. The mid to late 2000s is still quite early in their history, but Ufotable already started showing glimpses of the future with how the Garden of Sinners movie was animated. Very fluid and well choreographed action sequences get coupled with those melancholic backdrops and detailed environments create the mysterious air the movie series has most of the time. The character designs are also a thing of beauty, and looking at Garden of Sinners overall, I guess it's a prelude of things to come for Ufotable. Now, before we continue, I'd like to mention that we finally have a Discord server. So check the link in the description after you finish the video and join the community for giveaways. At number 5, we take a look at the newest kid on the block, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Alright, it's cool. It's not like it.
It's finally time to talk about the cool kid of the 2020s, Jujutsu Kaisen. To say that Jujutsu Kaisen's best point is the animation, I feel, would be doing the anime a very minor disservice. When it comes to the world of battle shonen, I personally feel that Jujutsu Kaisen is more than the sparks and flashes. It's got some creative usage of its cast, goes slightly past norms while keeping in line with the established tropes of the genre, and introduces us to some really nice fight setups. But I can't blame you if the first thing that strikes out to you for Jujutsu Kaisen is its animation. I mean, Sakuga is just everywhere in Jujutsu Kaisen. We can talk about the Hanami fight, or half the things Gojo does, or Fushiguro's glorious moment at the tail end of the series. Almost every episode, there's something in the visual spectacle that is Jujutsu Kaisen that makes people's jaws drop. Jujutsu Kaisen is the newest addition to the ever-growing library of anime titans to take the world by storm, and it made the best entrance that anyone could hope for.
It was lit.
Right after Jujutsu Kaisen is Demon Slayer.
If you not caught up with Demon Slayer, you hiding under the rock. This right here, yo, oh, yeah.
To no one's surprise, Demon Slayer is on this list. And yes, I intentionally placed it next to Jujutsu Kaisen because in a more meta sense, the two shows feel like successors to each other given their similar trajectories and success. Settings changed, characters changed, but the whole premise of a team of specialists fighting supernatural and demonic beings lives on. For Demon Slayer, everyone can talk about Rui, but have you seen what Ufotable did with the movie? How about the time Zenitsu showed off how badass he can be? Heck, even in the currently airing Red Light District arc, there's no shortage of Demon Slayer just being, well, visually stunning. Vivid backgrounds, a bright art style that captures the vigor of the era, and spectacular post-processing effects that enhance every moment they're in. It's rare for it to happen, but Demon Slayer is a title that manages to surpass its source material thanks to these extravagant visuals. It's a no-brainer that Demon Slayer's on here, and if you've been in the anime community for the past year or so, you wouldn't have needed to hear that from me. We open our top 3 with Mushoku Tensei.
Listen, this better be lit. Demon Slayer is a classic. Demon Slayer is up there. This better surpass expectations.
Of course,
Oh, I've seen
the
this
granddaddy of
already. Not the
isekai
anime,
isn't
but-
gonna disappoint.
Yeah.
I don't blame you if you had your doubts, however. After all, given how saturated isekai is these days, we have a lot of these low-budget filler works. It would be a crime against humanity if the anime gods dare saddle Mushoku Tensei with that treatment, right? All those fears were put to the test when the first episodes dropped, and the momentum just kept going. Mushoku Tensei is a title with a very lush and vibrant setting, and much of the world building and the feeling of discovering a whole new world were brought to life thanks to the studio's skill in background design and fight animation. Mushoku Tensei boasts a lot of fights that really give off that much needed impact a fight has to have thanks to the animation team. Not every show gets the honor of having a studio made solely for adapting it, you know? That's how we know these guys are serious about Mushoku Tensei, and it's up to us to enjoy the fruits of the team's labor. Controversies and all, this is by far one of the most well-made isekai out there.
But I do want to say, like, when you be looking at these, like, animals, snakes, and, like, we as humans, like, I want to say we down bad, but we just, that's tough. We don't got no defense mechanism.
Again, I don't think that I need to tell you anything about the amazing visuals of Mob Psycho 100. An amazing series in its own right, people all over the world have loved Mob Psycho for its interesting characters, engaging plot, and of course, the godly animation and fight sequences. In fact, you could be around back when people were up in arms because the title didn't win Best Animation in one Crunchyroll award or something, but that's besides the point. What I'm here to highlight is the cinema tier aesthetics that Mob Psycho has. It looks deceptively simplistic, the art, but when you start seeing the fight sequences, how the powers get presented, and how everything just moves and reacts according to the events you're seeing on screen, just prepare to be blown away. Art and animation is not Mob Psycho's strongest suit for me, but it sure is the one that strikes out among its peers. Mob Psycho 100 is an adaptation that showcases the power of an adaptation. Just like Demon Slayer, it's a title that shows how being able to see and hear things brings you a way better experience than just reading something. The most visually stunning action anime for me is none other than Ufotable's Fate.
Oh yeah, most definitely give it to it. Why not? Fate, bro, I watched, there's so many of these Fate series, but bro, I've seen the Fate animations is top tier, bro. No complaints.
Fate's Stay Night didn't have the most glorious art. It's not that Dean Stay Night is absolutely awful, but it's a show that didn't do too much to bring the Fate franchise to the mainstream. Back in the mid-2000s, you'd be laughed at if you thought that this little VN adaptation would soon turn into a money printer in the world of mobile games and anime. Fate struck gold when Ufotable got handed the reins to adapt both Fate Zero and Unlimited Blade Works, and it just snowballed from there. Finally, Fate had an adaptation done right, and it couldn't have found a better studio to do it. One of the best modern VN adaptations, the two anime continue the series' momentum, and before you know it, we have a multi-billion-dollar franchise on our hands. From the very smooth fight animation to the amazing presentation that really drove home how overwhelming the noble phantasms are, Ufotable's Fate has everything you'd want from an action anime if we're talking about visual presentation.
Yeah.
And that's not even getting to the Heaven's Feel movies. If you're looking for a long franchise that can fill you with hours of exciting fights and visual spectacles, Ufotable's Fate is here for you. And don't worry about the notorious watch order. You can just go Zero, then UBW, or Heaven's Feel. So, is Ufo...
Bro, I watched Alter versus Saber. Video got blocked. So, that was like, I think a year ago. It was a couple months ago. Still haven't uploaded it. Still can't. That's tough.
Table's Fate, your pick for most visually stunning...
What's your most top 10 visually stunning action anime? Let me know in the comment section down below. It's your boy, everyone. Again, I'm out in the cap.